Alright, y'all, so today I wanted to make a very quick video to give you my thoughts on Fallout Season 1. I finally got the chance to watch it and just wanted to give you my quick thoughts on it. So, before I get into the review and the pros and cons, a little bit of history slash context. I'm a pretty huge fan of Fallout, the games at least. I haven't played all of the games, but some of the later ones I have played and I really enjoy them, and they're like some of my early childhood games, and I have a lot of fondness for the Fallout franchise. My personal favorite game being Fallout New Vegas. I absolutely love that game. So when I heard that they were making a Fallout TV series, I was just kind of really indifferent to it just because the huge hit and miss standards with video game adaptations. Sometimes you get like a decent movie or a decent TV series, but it seems like most of the time when it comes like video game adaptations, most of them are just kind of, I don't know, not good. They don't really respect their source material. Be honest with you, don't even understand it. So it's why my standards, especially for video game adaptations, are so low. So when I heard the news that they're making a Fallout series, and personally, even when it came out, I just really didn't care. I just kind of wrote it off and assumed it was bad. Also, it didn't help. I was probably burned from the Halo TV series and its season 2 and how bad that was. So I was just kind of over video game adaptations and stuff. But with season 2 approaching, I decided to give season 1 a chance and see if maybe the hype was worth it. And yeah, I gotta be honest with y'all, the hype was definitely worth it. Fallout Season 1 was a really good piece of television and a really good video game adaptation. I'm not going to sit here and say like it's the greatest video game adaptation or video game movie or greatest series or whatever. I'm not going to say those things because I really don't know. But I can really personally say that Fallout is definitely one of the best video game adaptations I've seen in a long time. What it does and how it respects the source material should be really a standard for a lot of video game adaptations. So let's get into the pros and things that I really liked about this series, and of course the cons, and of course my overall thoughts. So first are the pros. I really like the story of this series. It tells an original story, takes place in Los Angeles, which isn't really an area that's been explored by the games. I'm not really too sure if this is canon to the games, but that's besides the point. It tells its own original story with its own original characters, and I think the story that's being told here is really good. It's a really good story that's told over 8 episodes. And the show features 3 main characters, really. It features a vault dweller who, I can't remember her name exactly, but I think her name maybe is Piper, but I can't remember. Either way, she's looking for her dad after she gets kidnapped by some raiders, and she kind of has to go out to the wasteland. That's what really kickstarts this whole story and narrative. While at the same time, there's another character in the Brotherhood of Steel called Maximus, who kind of has his own schemes and ambitions and is looking for her missing father as well due to like a bounty. And of course, there's another character called the Ghoul, who's kind of a anti-hero, so to speak. He's also looking for her father for a bounty and other personal reasons, as well as it's revealed throughout the series. And I think all the actors who do like a role in this series all do a really great job. I really like the Vault Dweller lady. I thought that she played her character well. The guy who played Maximus for the Brotherhood of Steel, I think represented that faction in his life really well. I thought he really sold his performance. My personal standout performance, though, for me is Cooper Howard, aka the Ghoul. He was great. I can't remember the actor who betrays him because I've seen him in some other stuff, but he's really good in this series. I thought he was the most entertaining character by far. And they kind of give him a lot of backstory. The show kind of cuts back to pre-war stuff revolving him, and of course the stuff that's going on in the Fallout, / post-apocalyptic wasteland, which I love that little contrast between the two settings. And I thought his character was by far the most intriguing and interesting and most entertaining of this whole series. Not to throw shade on the other characters, but I just thought he was the most intriguing. And the story and plot was pretty good. I like the whole journey to find something. It's been done in other Fallout games, like in Fallout 4 and stuff. And it's, I think it's done pretty well here. And I really love the twist, which basically is revealed that, the people that we kind of assumed at the beginning, Vault-Tec and the Vault Dwellers and stuff, were actually good people. But secretly, the people that run them are actually evil, horrible people. And they are actually the reasons why, this post-apocalyptic wasteland actually happened. The corporations engineered the beginning of the Fallout universe, which I thought was really interesting and really a twist I didn't see coming personally. I really like it. I thought it was really engaging. I don't remember if that's in the games. I can't really tell you if it is or not, if like Vault-Tec was actually the bad guys all along. I'm not too sure, especially since in the Wasteland there's already so many gray elements and enemies and stuff. But, it's the first time I've ever seen something like this in Fallout, and I thought it was a great twist. I personally didn't see it coming, and I loved it. My only thing is I want to know more about it and get like a full, in-depth backstory and explanation, which I'm sure we're going to get more of in Fallout Season 2. But I definitely thought the twist at the end was really good, well done, and definitely, like I said, it leaves me hyped for Season 2. And I thought in general the writing, also the jokes and the comedy that are used throughout this series was well done. There's a few gags they like to do, and the way that characters interact I thought was hilarious, just because, it's a post-apocalyptic wasteland. Something like manners and some things like common sensibilities and conversations aren't exactly normal there. There's a standout scene I remember specifically in this series that had me dying, where it's like Maximus and the Vault Dweller lady are talking, and they just flatly ask for, like, they talk about sex, and it's the funniest like virgin conversation you can ever imagine. But like I said, it makes sense because they're in this crazy world where, aspects of this conversation aren't exactly commonplace. And I thought it was really funny. I just thought it was hilarious. In terms of the CGI and the look of the world and how Fallout's portrayed, it's all done pretty well. The CGI for a TV series is well done. It doesn't look cheap. The practical sets, how the world looks, it absolutely looks like Fallout. Despite the fact that they're telling, their own original story, the Fallout universe is treated with respect. Pit Boys are the same. The factions are pretty much the same. Like, you got the Brotherhood of Steel. They're done pretty well in this series. Even the T-60 power armor that shows up, man, they really made that shit look good. Like, they really did a good job at adapting that into live action, because I was kind of curious how they were going to do it, but it looks pretty good. The ghouls also look pretty faithful, and, in general, the wasteland itself and the raiders and all that, and all the other elements look pretty good. I think they also sneaked in some original monsters. Like, there's this kind of pink aquatic monster, which I thought was really cool. I think it looked very unique and interesting. I do hope we would eventually see maybe like Mollusk or something like in future seasons if they continue making this series, because they're one of my favorite enemies from Fallout. But regardless, I enjoyed the world that they presented, and like I said, it shows a clear respect for the source material. They're not trying to change Fallout. They're just trying to tell like its own original story and take on the universe, but keeping the elements faithful to the games, which I really think that things like Halo and other video game adaptations really should take notes from. For other pros, like I said, the writing, the dialogue was pretty good. The comedy was pretty good. I thought the plot was pretty good. It kept things interesting. It kept things moving. And I think it was kind of at a brisk 8 episodes, and I think that was a good length for it. I think it was 13 episodes. It may have dragged on for a little bit, just because, I don't know, there might have been some filler episodes here and there. But I think for the most part, all 8 episodes here are needed. They feel like a brisk, tight narrative around 8 episodes. And I think it was a good length. And yeah, I mean, overall, I think this was a really good TV series. Now for some of the cons. It's not like a perfect TV show or anything, but it's pretty good. I think for the most part, the Wasteland was presented pretty well. The only thing is I wish we got to see a little bit more of it, just because I feel like we get sometimes like a little bit of a scenic route of it. And I think that was probably just due to the budget reasons. You can't really show the whole Wasteland just because it would cost so much to do it. But that was like, like I said, little nitpicks. I wish we could have seen more of that. I also really wish there was a moment where they used VATS, like from the games. Like they somehow incorporated VATS into the show. Like maybe some cool action sequences, some kind of cool action sequence where they used the VATS mode. I wish there was a moment like that, just because I feel like if you're going to make a Fallout TV series, you got to have a moment where you're going to include VATS. I mean, you got the dog here, you got a lot of the weapons, you got the Pip-Boy and all that stuff. Try to have a moment where you include VATS. I don't know, just kind of incorporate it somehow into the TV series. But other than that, that's really all the huge issues that I can think of right now off the top of my head. Overall, Fallout Season 1 was really good. I think a lot of video game adaptations should take notes from this TV series on how to do their source material in video games. This was a really good show. It had good writing, it had a good story, and most importantly of all, it respected its source material. And, I'm really excited for Season 2, so yeah. Overall, I'm pretty excited for Fallout Season 2, and, I really liked Season 1, so hopefully y'all have a nice day, and peace, y'all.